Welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Wherever you find yourself in life.
It is now afternoon here.
Is it?
In East Tennessee.
Oh, it
we
is.
We have eclipsed the noon point of the day.
And it still feels good out here.
It does still feel good.
It feels great.
It's kind of my favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
This morning was a smidge chilly.
Oh, it felt good.
Mid-50s, I believe. Mid-50s.
Yeah, it was 50 on the nose at my house.
Oh, so it was lower than that then.
Yeah.
Dang.
50 on the nose.
So, yeah, it's like shorts and hoodie weather. I'm happy. And I'm also a big proponent of long sleeve tees. If I can wear those and not sweat, or on the inverse, if I can wear this and not be cold, that's when I feel good.
Some would say it's sweater weather.
I don't know if we're quite there yet.
Sweater weather.
It'll be here before we know it, though. It'll be
Get
here
old
before we know
SNL.
it.
Speaking of SNL, Nate Bargatze, he has a great skit where he plays George Washington.
Okay.
And I know we were talking about this off camera, whether we measure our stacks of wood in cords or ricks.
Yeah.
And he's with his troops, and they're asking him, about the new measurements in this new land now in America.
Okay.
It's like, but sir, are we going to use meters? No. I wish it were so simple. We're going to measure in miles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, might
things
as well.
like that. Go watch that skit if you're not. It's hilarious.
Okay. No,
Nate's,
I have
Nate's
not
a funny
seen.
dude.
Have not seen that skit, but I have always questioned why the heck we did not keep the metric system.
Well, because this is America.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we got to be dumb.
We're not. We're our own thing.
Yeah. Well, if you've ever worked on a car and you currently have a half-inch socket, and you're like, I need one bigger. What's bigger than
9/16?
What's bigger than half, but smaller than? Let's see,
Smaller than 3/8.
5/8.
It would be a 9/16.
Hey, easy. You had a 12 in your hand. You need a bigger one.
13.
You go to a 13.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be America.
They would just no, but it would cause us a whole lot less of heartache.
Or even funner thing. Yesterday, I was working on my mower, and the bolt head was 9/16. The nut on the other side, for some reason, was only a half. I don't understand how that worked.
Yeah,
Don't get it, but it did. It did.
Interesting. Yeah,
Good old John Deere.
could have kept the metric system. I'd have been happy with that. I mean, everything's easy. It's in ones, 100s, and
and
thousands
tens.
or something like
it
that.
all goes by tens.
It's
They're
easy.
all factors.
Super
of 10.
easy. Super easy.
I digress.
Anyways, so today we are still outside because we are currently displaced. Hopefully you enjoy this.
Yeah. Heck, even when we're not displaced, we might bring it on back out here. I'm still wanting to get up into the playhouse. I'm going to put my petition into the board, and maybe we get a playhouse episode out of some of this.
It's
we'll
being
see.
it's being reviewed. We'll see.
It's being reviewed by the board. Okay. We need a
that's all we
2/3
can
vote
say.
for it to pass, and there's only 2 of us on the board.
Yeah, maybe split on this decision.
If anybody wants to come in and be the tiebreak, you just let us know.
Let us know. Yeah,
We'll put you on payroll for 2 minutes.
I really question if we can fit in it. That's the biggest
Oh, we can fit.
concern.
We can fit.
But what we are going to talk about today is the importance of photography. And I'm not talking about paid photography or professional photography, but just photography in general.
Yeah, period.
The importance of a photo.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. But first, thank your sponsor.
Sponsor of today's episode of Faith in Frames, none other than us, Jared and Garrett here at Motion Creative Media, and our Blue Collar LUT. Folks, if you are looking for a drag-and-drop, plug-and-play solution to your iPhone, DSLR, or mirrorless camera footage, look no further than the description below in our Blue Collar LUT. This is a filter for your footage that I think adds a little bit of spice, a little bit of pizzazz.
A little punch.
You like to say punch. I like punch as well. But I would love for you to use the Blue Collar LUT on your footage, on your photos. Let us know what you think about that. There's a link down in the description below. It is free for you to use.
Yeah. Give it a download, give it a go, and let us know.
Yeah. Thank you for sponsoring this episode, Jared.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I'm glad to be here. Meat and taters. We are talking about the importance of this photography thing that we love so dearly.
Yeah, so I'll start with a story.
Yeah, story time.
And really there's so many stories that could be said specifically with what our region just currently went through, but I'll give you a short one here. There was an old store down by a road that I used to pass every day. The store, I never actually saw the store as a working store, but I always knew it as a store. But it's just been this dilapidated building that's just slowly been decaying for
Right.
years. It was neglected, and like all barns and everything like that, eventually it ends up being no more. But last fall, I took a photo of it with the leaves around it and all these things. Had no idea that within less than a year, that building would literally no longer be here.
Gone.
Gone. It's gone.
Demolished.
So,
Out of here.
again, I didn't take that photo to like, be the last photo of it or anything like that. I took the photo because it was pleasing within the fall foliage, but
Right.
in hindsight, it served as a reminder to me to take the photo.
Yeah.
Like, there's tons of things that, even if you're not a photographer, you've probably driven by these places every day of your life, and you're like, I really need to stop and take a photo of that. But
And
a lot of
then
times
you
we're too busy.
Yeah.
We're too busy. We make excuses like, oh, no, I didn't leave early enough, or I'm
Yeah.
fixing to be late, or I don't have time to pull over and take that photo.
We're way too busy as a society.
We are way too busy. And had I been too busy, and I'm not like absolving myself of being too busy, because there's tons of photos that I haven't taken because I have played the too busy card.
Right.
But that day I was not too busy.
Ooh.
I actually took the photo, and I now have a photo of a building that no longer exists.
Do you think that you were the last person to photograph that building?
I probably was not. I probably was not the last person to take a photo of that building. I'm sure they took a photo of it before the county ended up condemning it because it was falling
Okay.
apart and coming down into the road.
Gotcha.
So they ended up tearing it down. I'm sure there were photos taken then, but
Yeah.
I can tell you I was probably one of the last photos of it in fall because
Yeah.
it didn't make it to this fall.
Ouch.
So all that to say, that could easily be a family member.
Yeah.
That could easily be a person who was literally here today and gone tomorrow.
Because they were falling into the road and are now condemned.
No, life here is finite.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And again, at one point we're all here, and then at one point we're all gone.
Yeah.
So just the importance. We call it photography. I'm just even saying taking the photo. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care. I
No
don't care
matter
you
what
take
it's
it
on.
with. Yeah, but it's the importance of taking that photo and its preservation.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to dive into that building specifically because you said that you knew it as an empty storefront.
Yeah.
But if we go back even further than that, there are people who remember it as a working operational store.
Yeah, my mom talked about stopping there
Yeah.
as a store, or like as a
child.
patron of the store. But again, it was always closed down. It was never an operating store for my childhood.
Right.
But I just always knew that it was a store. But so there's a story attached to it.
Yeah.
First off.
Yeah, there's a story for you. There's a story for your mom. There's a story for other patrons who were in it day in and day out. I think of all the people that came in and out of that store and the stories that they were telling. Because if we think about, our region specifically, we were very agricultural in nature.
Agrarian, I believe.
Agrarian, there it is.
Close enough.
There's a word. Agrarian in nature. If you think about all the farmers that were coming in after cutting tobacco,
Yep.
just take a break. All the farmers that had just got done doing hay. Like, there's so many stories of different people coming in and out of that store.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I mean, again, our region has just recently experienced a massive change in physical landscape
Yeah.
as a result of Helene, right?
Yep.
Bridges are literally not here
Yeah,
anymore.
they're gone.
Farmland is literally not here anymore.
Right.
And so, honestly, I've got to work out the kinks of it. And maybe I shouldn't say this because well, no, screw it. I'm going to say it because it's going to hold myself accountable.
Oh, man.
I took some photos.
Just going to send it.
I did not know. I did not know what was coming with Helene.
Right.
None of us did, which
Right.
is part of the problem. Like, we had no clue that a
that's why we got
hurricane was going
obliterated.
to, negatively impact us in this
Right.
way. But I was literally riding around
Mm-hmm.
the river, Bailey Bridge, Corby Bridge, all those bridges that are physically no longer here anymore. I was just beat bopping around in the mornings for about a week, just finding light, finding composition, finding farmland
Finding
that I wanted
bridges.
to take photos of. So I took photos of tons of farmland.
Yeah.
That I had no idea.
Would no longer be there.
Literally, like less than a month
Mm-hmm.
ago, I took these photos. That now that landscape looks completely different. So I'm trying to think of a way to put together some sort of a photo book or something, and I would somehow like to get those photos to the property owners.
Yes.
because again, it looks nothing like the
Oh, that'd
photo
be
that
awesome.
I took.
That'd be awesome.
So I gotta figure out that methodology that I'm going to use. But anyways, I took photos literally a month before Helene came through and ripped farmland from these farmers. I had no idea that. I didn't really exactly know where I was. I'd never been in this area,
right?
Specifically in our neighboring county there. But
up near Washington County,
I was just finding photos that I liked, that I thought were pleasing of farmland, and lo and behold, a month later, Helene comes through and it is no longer there at all.
Yeah,
but I have photos of it prior to. You know what I'm saying? So like it's so important, in my opinion, to take that photo.
Do you think it would
preserve.
be just as important to, if accessible and if permitted, it would be just as important to show current landscape, to show the vast difference?
Yeah, I've thought about stitching together, like basically, you've seen people hold up old Polaroids and stuff in front of the Las Vegas sign or wherever it is, right? They recreate it. I've thought about doing something along those lines, and I may do something like that.
Yeah.
Or I may just literally take like a before and an after type thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, because
I think both sides of the equation are very important.
It is, and I'm also giving myself a personal mission to take photos. Basically, I'm going to try and take a photo like at least once every month.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of curious how nature's going to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
How long is it going to be before we start to see vegetation, which we're fixing to come in the fall?
It's
We're not
going to die
see,
anyways.
We're not going to see trees come up this year, but next spring we're going to see saplings.
I have a very vivid shot that I'm going to try to attempt in my mind down here at Jones Bridge of all the trees laid down in the mud. I want to do that on the Rolleiflex.
Okay.
In black and white, just to see again how dramatic that scene is,
right?
Versus like 2 years from now,
whatever.
But I cross that bridge almost daily right now in our travels, so I see that over out of my window, and I want to get the Rolleiflex out there and shoot that. But circling back around, you think of the importance. At the time, you had no clue.
Nope.
The importance of the images that you took pre-Helene.
I think that happens a lot of times, though.
Yeah. We don't understand the gravity sometimes of the photos that we take.
The goofy snapshot that you are so sick of being present in from your mom at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be more morbid here on a Monday morning, but I mean, that may be the last time somebody in that photo's here.
Yeah.
And you just don't know that. You're just trying to capture the moment. Yeah. And that's what photography is. But it's the importance of taking that photo, and it's just preserving. That's what I want to really just kind of hit on and discuss today.
Yeah. Well, and I think, too, and this kind of moves us into another idea. I know I fall victim a lot of the times, and it's because we're in the business, and for client work especially, like we're held to a standard. We're held to a degree of, well, if you're not using the right gear, if you're not using, your professional equipment,
right?
You're not going to get paid, basically. I mean, we're paid on the work that we do. And to a degree, we have to use a certain level of tool to do that. But I get caught up so many times, and thankfully Sarah, she calls me out on this whenever I go too far with it. I get caught up on I don't take a certain photo because I'm too busy, running off to get the camera.
Yeah.
And sometimes that moment's gone.
Right.
So I think for our audience especially, one thing to really sit back and take a objective look at is, let's take a photo that may not be good.
Yeah.
But is better because it exists.
Yeah.
And still shoot that, because that existing photo is better than the one that you missed because you were running inside to grab the camera.
Yeah, I mean, and the instances that I've talked about, the stories I talked about, I was running around with my professional camera as a professional photographer, trying to get as professional of a photo as possible. But that's not the point of preserving a moment. And I don't want someone to miss on preserving a moment if all they have on them is an iPhone.
Right.
Take the photo.
Take it.
Take the photo, because here's the thing. The photo's not the memory anyways.
Right.
It's literally just a spark.
Yeah.
It's literally just a reminder.
Yeah, it's a medium.
It is a frozen moment.
Yep.
That 6 years from now you can look in your iPhone camera roll and you see that photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, what that specific photo is going to do is spark your memory.
Yeah.
And you're going to relive that moment. So, no, I do not think that it matters
what it was shot on.
But the fact that it exists is what matters.
Way more important.
Yeah.
Way more gravity to that.
So, yeah, take the photo. There is a massive importance, in my opinion, to take photos. I don't care what you like taking photos of.
Do it.
Just do it because, not to be cliche, but photography is literally freezing a moment in time.
Yeah.
This specific moment with this specific light.
Yep.
You'll never be this age again. Nope. This light will never be like.
It'll never happen the same way. All the variables ever again.
Yeah, but you're freezing that moment, and in some cases, that could be taking the last photo that is known of a family member.
Yeah,
that could be
a pet,
a structure. Some landmark. Like it's just, I don't know. Take photos.
Yeah,
take photos. It's so easy to store photos these days. Like storage is cheap.
Yeah.
So don't let that be a limitation.
It's cheap and in abundance.
So
especially if you have the iCloud, they ask you to update the cloud on a monthly basis. Hey, you want that 4 terabyte? You want that 10 terabyte?
No, I think I'm good.
It's only 99 cents, but it's cheap.
Take the photo.
Yeah, take all the photos.
Take the photo. Do not care about, the lighting necessarily. Mm-hmm. There are so many just photos like on trips or whatever. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're a photographer. Where's the best?" I'm like, we just need to take the photo.
Yeah, let's take the picture.
Let's just take the photo. Now, I do care.
Yeah, I mean, deep down, it's a little bit of a soul crusher whenever you don't have the right light.
But at the end,
that doesn't matter.
That's not the important part. To me, the important part is capturing that moment.
Yeah.
So that someday, me or my family or someone can stumble upon this image, and it spark a memory.
Yeah, I think going to the not perfect conditions example. Whenever I first bought that Yashica point and shoot that I have, the thing was so unpredictable with like when it was going to fire the flash or what it was going to do with its shutter speed. That like some of the images that came out of those first few rolls, specifically when we were up in Michigan shooting that wedding, like it was fun just seeing the surprise of what it captured in that moment. Like I remember vividly, there was a shot that I'd handed the camera off to one of the groomsmen and just told him to go fire away.
Yeah.
And like he took this crazy picture of one of the other groomsmen dancing, but like the flash fired and somehow it was still like a slow shutter. I don't know what happened, but
interesting.
But that image is crazy good. Because of all those things that didn't line up.
Yeah.
But I can immediately go back to that image on the roll. Like it doesn't have to be perfect.
No, it doesn't have to be a good photo.
Right. It just has to be there.
Yeah.
And again, going back to previous episodes, what even is a good photo?
Well, yeah. Well, so on that specific note, I think back to and I'm thankful my parents took photos like when we were on family vacations.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like
my
that.
mom wore the disposable cameras out.
Would any of those photos be considered good by any measure of technical photography or
by Vogue magazine? Probably not.
No, but that's not the point.
Screw Vogue.
I can look through those. Those photo albums, which again I'm kicking myself because I don't print enough. So I'm looking through printed medium here.
Yeah.
But I can look through those, and I can remember as a kid. Yes, I do remember having those red swimming trunks at Myrtle Beach. I do remember when we went to that restaurant and played putt-putt because Logan got sick afterwards. And but the photo...
He throwed up on hole 3.
The photo is what sparks all of those memories. And had that photo not existed, for me to possibly look back upon... Yeah, I mean, the memories are they're still there, but they're not being brought to the forefront of your thought, Like you're not forced to relive them.
Yeah.
And that's what a photo does. That's what a photo does.
Also, I got to back up real quick. Vogue, I'm sorry, I did not mean that. I will gladly come photograph in a studio session for you. I'm sorry. Okay.
What did you say?
I said screw Vogue.
Oh. Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, there's certainly a place for good photography and professional photography, but at the end of the day, we're talking about today just preservation.
Yeah.
And the importance
preserving
of
the things that matter.
And again, I think it's just kind of fresh because literally that store's right across the hill.
Yeah.
Our landscape has been vastly shifted.
We've gone through a lot.
Within a week.
Gone through a little bit
actually,
here.
within a few hours, it shifted and changed forever. And it's just something that it's made me think. It's like, gosh, if you don't take the photo, you've still got the memory, but like it's harder.
Memory can fade, though.
Memory can fade.
We're human. Our memories fail. I'm 32 now, and my memory is god awful because of circumstances that have happened in my life.
Yeah, you've had wrecks, but
right. But again, like you're one wreck away from not remembering anything.
That's true.
You know,
that's fair.
I'm living proof right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to take those things and plaster them down. And I will say this. There is also an importance that I think holds equal value of being present in those moments too. Yeah. And again, this is just a reminder to myself. Like, yes. Take the photo. Yeah. But don't take away from the moment. Yeah. To take the photo.
Right.
Be a part of that moment, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I have slowly released my grip on like specifically with family moments and stuff.
Yeah.
Of having to have a professional photographer or professional style photo captured.
Yep.
And I will use my iPhone a lot more often now.
Yeah.
Transparency. The iPhone cameras are great.
I was going to say, you actually have a couple of YouTube videos on how to use your iPhone video.
They're great.
Maybe you should throw those in the link.
More than capable. I don't know if I'd go that far to sequester somebody to that torture. But
shameless plug here. Go look at his iPhone videos.
They're more than capable. And again, what you need is a frozen moment.
Yep. That's all you need.
So that you can spark that memory when you go back to look at it.
Boom.
Again, that's exactly what all those old family photos do for me when I go back and look at them. Family field trip or school field trips, all those things. Like just take the photos. Don't worry about it being good or great or what a professional approved. None of that matters. It's just the importance of photographing and freezing that moment.
That's beautiful. And one thing that I think would be, I'm going to call it a healthy challenge for our audience, and I hope some of you guys actually follow through on some of this. I would love to see, and you guys can boot this to our email, to our Instagram, whatever. I would love to see some of your favorite memories. I don't care what it was captured on, whether it be phone, camera, potato, whatever.
Right.
But I want to see what some of your favorite memories are. I think this could be a fun challenge for our audience. If this episode has resonated with you, if there are some points in here that you're like, yeah, that makes sense. I can absolutely get on board with these ideas. I want to see those. I'm personally curious because I know that you've mentioned family trips. I have my mom and dad. They have a darn what do they call it? Trunk.
Oh yeah,
a trunk full of Kmart sleeves.
Yep.
with 4x6s.
Yep.
I want to see some of your guys' favorite memories.
Yeah.
I don't care if you took it yesterday or 20 years ago. Flood our inbox.
Yeah.
I want to see those. Also, in the comments below, I would love to know why you think photography is so important.
Yeah. Whether you're a professional or not.
Yeah. Again, regardless, I don't care about that, but I want to know why you think it's important to you, to your life, maybe to your family's life. I love reading those stories.
Yeah.
Also, on top of that, if this episode has resonated with you, we would love to know in the comments what you think about it. Give us some feedback. Stars and bars. Those are things that we appreciate.
We read those reviews.
We read the reviews.
Read the comments.
Good and bad. Love them all. We need it as feedback.
Some of them are good. Some of them are bad.
That's okay. That helps us improve.
It does.
It helps us
Absolutely.
improve. And on that note, Jared, here's the hard part.
Oof. Well, we'll see you guys in the next one, but only if you promise to go take the photo.
He didn't make that very hard. We'll see you guys.
See y'all later.